Hello, I'm Amanda Howard of Amanda Howard Real Estate here in Huntsville, Alabama. And I wanted to talk about the 2000 weather forecast predictions because the weather really affects us in so many ways. Not only with market predictions, we always have to look to the past to predict the future of market trends in real estate, but we need to do the same when it comes to weather. It is very difficult to forecast weather, but looking in the past, in 2011 gave us a lot of information to share, can help us in predicting some of the outcome for 2012. So in doing that, I gathered a lot of information. Now there's some great websites out there, and there's some great editorials in multiple magazines that I was able to get information on of what happened to us in 2011 that I want to share with you. So do sit back. This is going to take a little while, a little bit longer than usual, but again, some fantastic information. I'm glad you all asked about this. Now, when predicting 2012's forecast, they took a lot of this base numbers from what happened in 2011 because we are watching some storm patterns or some weather predictions, the Earth's complex atmosphere is how they word that, between La Nina and El Nino. And it came together in this past year for what is considered a recipe for disaster and heartache, really, is what we know we felt here locally, as well as in Joplin, Texas, Virginia. There were so many places hard hit. Well, the numbers compiled by the U.S. National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, they were just jaw-dropping. As I was looking at these numbers and compiling them for this informational video for you, is that in a 3-day stretch in April, which we know when we were hit here on the 27th, that it feels like it just happened yesterday, but in that 3-day stretch in April, we were struck in a band from Alabama to Virginia by 343 tornadoes. And that was just amazing to me. Then other traumatic weather events were precipitation levels in the Ohio Valley. They exceeded normal levels by 300%, and that led to a lot of flooding all along the Mississippi River. Then drought-fueled wildfires that burned more than 1 million acres in Texas alone. Now, all of this is just to name a few of the traumatic, damaged events that weather-damaging events that we had and were hit with in 2011. And some of the numbers are still being compiled for the damage that was created. But just to give you an example, Joplin, Missouri's killer tornado suffered $3 billion in damages just alone. Now in the 80s, so you can see another direct comparison, we were only seeing an average of $1 billion in disaster damage per year. In the 2000s, an average of 5 per year. Then in 2009 and 2010, the U.S. averaged an average of 7.5%, or 7.5 billion per year. That's with a B. And then the historic top has been 2011 at $12 billion in damages. Now these disastrous weather events, we all know, cost a lot more than just money. Our lives are still affected and will remain to be affected for quite some time in our local area, and those affected in Joplin and Tallahassee and just everywhere where we were hard hit, they're just going to continue to be reeling over what's happened. But we need to look and take an account of what actually did happen when we're looking at those deaths. We had an Irene's East Coast hurricane and the tornadoes in Joplin, as well as Tuscaloosa and other serial disasters. They claimed 646 lives. But we also need to remember that in addition to that 646 lives that were so sadly and early taken, is all the number of families that were displaced and are now without homes or are moving around looking for the next place where they want to move to. So, is this the new norm? I don't think so. And in looking at the predictions of the forecast of what is to come, all of the readings are coming back that we are going to have a mild 2011. Now, that does not say that we're not going to be hit by something disastrous, but they are saying that 2011 was quite rare. In fact, that is the rarest that we should ever see within our lifetimes, which to me, I'm thankful for. I don't want to ever have to see anything like that again, but they are saying 2012 should be mild. The early season hurricane predictions by WSI, which is a division of the Weather Channel, says that they suggest a quiet 2012 compared to 2011 or even 2010. And they feel this is due in likelihood that El Nino, the cycle that's driven most of the weather that's happened to us in the past 2 years, is coming to an end. And that is going to either end here in spring or just join into El Nino by summer. So regardless of what happens in 2012, we know that what we need to do is to have some takeaway points from 2011 and what we learned. We need to be more weather ready. Meteorologist was and what happened on the 27th, and the meteorologist reports is the next thing that I wanted to look into to say that they did their job. They served us well. They were doing their homework. What I've compiled now is that in the coming days in advance of April 27th's hurricanes or tornadoes where we were hit, they correctly assessed the seriousness of the situation and provided location-specific warnings up to 30 minutes in advance in our area. Now in Joplin, the warnings were up to 17 minutes before the storm hit their town. And even so, we still lost that many lives. So the answer to what we learned and what we need to take away is to stop being desensitized by the storms, the storm warnings. Stop feeling like they're just an annoyance or it's somebody predicting something that isn't going to actually happen. We need to take them seriously, and we need to make sure the others and the loved ones around us are taking them seriously. It only takes one gust to knock down your home's foundation. One strong gust, but still one gust. And then that one gust can change your life forever. So what we need to do is really to heed these storm warnings. And in working in the New Year resolutions, as we know, it's mid-January or just passing mid-January now. Most of us have just, said we were going to go on the diet and maybe have stopped, put that to the wayside. We're going to stop eating chocolates. I know I put that to the wayside a week ago. So what we need you to do is replace those with, I'm going to now be weather ready for 2012. I'm going to heed those warnings, and I'm going to get my family and myself prepared. So now, in summary of what we have covered, 2012 is going to be a much more mild weather year than 2011. But let's be smart about getting ourselves weather prepared. I was talking to several storm shelter companies because I wanted to see how we can better prepare ourselves. There's a great company called StormGuard, and you may have seen me in a picture of one on Facebook just a couple months ago because they actually drove one over here on a flatbed truck so I could go in and check it out. It was amazing. It's a steel building with dual benches and a rubberized floor. I'm hoping that I'm able to figure out how to attach a picture to this newsletter or in this video itself. But in talking to them, I let them know what I was going to be sharing here, and they offered a very generous offer or special for our listeners and our readers here for you. It is $500 off. If you mention that you read or heard about StormGuard here, they will give you $500 off between now and the end of February. Now, I also asked them what is the cost of their base unit, which is like a building that I've sat in, along with the cost of installation, because that's where you can also start adding in costs. It's only starting at $6,500. Now, when we're talking about getting you in a safe building, getting your loved ones, your family members, all of those around you that you care about deeply, that is not a high price to pay. So enjoy the rest of your day. That is all the information that I gathered for you. Stay warm and keep sending in these ideas. This was phenomenal. It was great information. I enjoyed doing the research on it, and I could see how it's very helpful. So please keep sending those ideas, and all of us here at Amanda Howard Real Estate, thank you for listening, joining in with us, sending us your referrals and your business. You're what keeps dinner on our table for all of us here, and we really, really appreciate you. Until next time, please keep sending me those emails, giving us calls, and posting your remarks on Facebook. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.